Hello, Mark Crossfield here. Today we've got the free wood from the deck. We're going outside, we're going to hit a free wood from the deck, give you guys an idea of how to play this club, try and help you maybe get on those par 5s in 2 and start shooting those lower scores. So let's get into it. So, free wood from the deck. It's such a handy club to be able to hit the free wood from the floor. Things you've got to be considering first off when you try to tackle this club, free wood from the floor, it's a very difficult shot to use. So you've got to be assessing the situation. Things like lie, the ball has to be lying relatively well. Down slopes, longer grass, free wood from the deck with the loft on the club is just not going to work unless you're super powerful. Other things you've got to put into mind as well is your environment. Free wood from the deck, if hit well, is going to produce good distance and give you an impressive shot where you get on like a par 5 in 2 or a long par 4 that you've not been able to reach, get on it in 2 to make that par that you want, or even give you a birdie opportunity. But you've got to expect that the bad shots with a free wood from the deck are going to be bigger, going to be greater margins than if you're hitting a 7-iron. So maybe if you're hitting down a tree line fairway, you might want to just cool off from hitting the free wood off the deck and go to your rescues or go to your irons, or take that gamble, but you've got to accept that it is a bit more of a gamble hitting the free wood from the deck. It's a difficult club to use. So look, I'm on the fairway here, I've got a nice lie, I've got a bit of room out there to hit this ball into, so I'm going to have a go of hitting the free wood from the deck. Grip, stance, everything's the same as you'd really feel with a wood. You've got to make sure the ball is getting off your front foot. You want to be hitting the ball relatively on the flat to slightly on the upswing. You can't be putting a 15-degree fairway wood in the middle of your stance. You're going to hit down on the ball, it's going to go low and it'll often squirt out to the right. So get that ball off your left heel. Setup wise, now what I do with a free wood off the deck is I will aim fractionally up the left hand side of the target, down the left portion, because the free wood from the deck for me tends to leak a little bit off to the right. If it's going to go wrong, it's going to leak to the right. So what I'm going to do, if I nail the ball, it's going to stay up the left and go on the left side of target, which is fine. And if it gets that little bit of drift, it's going to drift back on the target and people think I've hit the best shot ever, which is also good. And if I hit a loose one, I've got a bit of leeway because I'm aiming at the left, just to let that ball leak out to the right and not go into too much trouble. So what I'm doing is I'm accepting how this club performs from the ground, where if I was hitting a 7-iron for instance, I would just go straight at the flag. I'm happy that I can get it at the flag, and if I don't, I feel like the punishment is duly there because I should be hitting the target. But a free wood from the ground, I am giving myself just a little bit more leeway, just aiming up the left portion to allow for the slight drift off to the right. So ball position off the front foot, so getting it off to the inside of the left heel is what you're after. I'm aiming slightly up the left. Now when it comes to my swing, I'm going to make the same kind of movements as I'd make with my driver. I'm going to try and make sure on the downswing I'm moving my weight through while keeping my head back to get this slightly upward attack angle to get the ball launching. And the other thing you've got to do with a free wood off the deck, which people forget to do, and this is often what can get you in more trouble as well, so it's a bit of a double-edged sword, is you've got to hit it with some force. You can't tap a free wood off the deck. You've got to hit it. You've got to swing at it with some kind of aggression, similar to you do with a driver. Because of the launch of a free wood on the ground, the 15-degree loft of it, it's going to struggle to get up in the air unless you put some power on it, and it's that launch that's going to give you the distance. If you're scared of hitting it hard, then definitely think about going to maybe a 4-wood or a 5-wood off the deck with more loft, but you don't have to be so aggressive because the loft's going to push the ball up in the air. So look, let's give it a hit. Free wood off the deck, aiming slightly up the left for me, just to allow for that drift. And I'm talking like 5-7 yards up the left, not 20. I've got the ball off the front of my foot and I'm just going to get my weight through from the lower half, keeping my head back to try and get it on the upswing. Let's give it a go. Okay, that feels pretty good. Now, you've got to remember nowadays that free woods off the deck are getting slightly easier because they are getting higher launching. I've got here a TaylorMade super fast burner. It's quite deep set. It's helping me push the ball up in the air. So subject to how hard you're hitting it will be subject to how much lean you want to put on it, and even your ball position can vary by, say, an inch. So right off the heel to just inside the heel, depending if it's going too high or the right trajectory. Let's just give this one another go. So just to recap, we're going left foot. Ball for me, I play it off my left heel. This camera angle is slightly skewed, so you're probably seeing the ball position as here. But if the camera angle was right opposite me, it's actually off my left heel for where I'm aiming. Then I'm just going to try and make sure I get my weight through, not to hit the ground first, but just going to keep my head back a little bit to try and get that ball on the upswing. Let's give it one more hit. Yeah, it feels good. That's got a little bit more drift on it, and because I've aimed at the left, that's finished maybe 7 yards right of my target. So it's it looks like a good result, but I know that I am bailing a little bit there by aiming at the left. Look guys, 3 woods off the deck, it's a tricky club. You've got to be pretty confident in what you're doing. Give it a go. Ball forward, same technique. Just got to make sure you are trying to hit it on the upswing. And the biggest problem I see with 3 wood off the deck for players is they're hitting it from silly lies. You've got to have a good, flat, generous lie to get this kind of club hitting off the deck. But guys, let me know how you get on. Hope that helps. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video, and let me know how you go. Thank you for watching.